Welcome back to the Ulduar Raid Guide. My name's Ciderhelm, I'm the administrator of TankSpot.com, and in this video I'll show you our Flame Leviathan 4-Tower Hard Mode strategy. If you'd like more information or would like to learn more about downloading this movie, click more info on the movie information box on YouTube to head directly to TankSpot. Also, be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button to the right so you'll be automatically notified as we release new movies. For the purposes of this movie, I'm going to assume that the viewer understands the general functions and abilities of each of the three vehicles and understands the functionality of the Flame Leviathan. The 4-Tower Flame Leviathan encounter is a highly complex encounter which will test the coordination of your raiders. With all 4 towers active, Flame Leviathan has over 350 million health. The primary goals in this encounter are 1. Keep him overloaded as often as possible, as this increases damage and also reduces his movement speed. 2. Keep 10 stacks of pyrite rolling on him from all demolishers as often as possible. 3. Keep him interrupted the moment he casts flame vents. And 4. Avoid unnecessary damage at any cost, including a loss of pyrite stacks. The encounter has a soft and rage mechanic due to the constant AoE damage going out throughout the encounter. Choppers will be the first vehicles to be destroyed from this, and they'll often go down before the encounter is finished. In our strategy, we use 5 demolishers but only 4 siege engines and choppers. By doing this, we have 3 extra players who we can cycle for launches on Flame Leviathan. 3 of our demolishers and 3 of our choppers are responsible for launch teams. Our launch teams consist of 2 groups of 3 players each, one of which will be on Flame Leviathan at any given time, and the other of which will be acting as demolisher gunners who are able to keep pyrite supplied for the driver. In general, each of these 2 groups will consist of 1 hybrid DPS healer and 2 ranged DPS, ideally mages. The advantage to mages is that they can blink away towards their demolishers again once the Flame Leviathan turrets have been destroyed. The DPS healer is responsible for throwing a quick heal to the other 2 players while on Flame Leviathan, only if their health is low. Also, if this is a shaman, they can provide a heroism on one of the earlier launches. When an overload is nearing, choppers go near Flame Leviathan and watch for their assigned player to be launched off of the Leviathan. Though in many cases the demolishers can be near enough that a player does not need to be picked up, there are frequently times when it is advantageous to do so. Players who are launched but cannot blink should cancel their parachutes quickly and enter the chopper to receive a quick heal. The chopper needs to return the DPSer to the assigned demolisher and stay directly on top of the demolisher until the passenger has been transferred. Moving even a small distance away too soon can prevent the passenger from being able to jump from one vehicle to the next. Generally, we prefer to have the current demolisher gunners wait until the moment overload ends before they jump into the launch position. This allows the demolisher to maximize DPS during the overload, and as the player in the launch position will lock out abilities and cannot be launched early, this is the best way of handling this. As soon as the demolisher gunner switches into the launch position, the passenger in the chopper jumps into the vehicle and takes on his responsibilities. To keep a very smooth transition between choppers and demolishers, we assign raid icons to each of the 2 launch players assigned to a demolisher. Choppers are expected to remember the 2 icons for the demolisher they are transporting to. At any given time, one of those icons should be on Flame Leviathan or in the passenger seat, and one of them should be in the demolisher. For a small boost in DPS, we launch our first launch team immediately at the beginning of the encounter. We also launch a 4th player from a demolisher without a rotation who will help out only on the first overload. After this point, that player will return to his or her vehicle without the assistance of a chopper and will not be launched again. Since each demolisher starts with 10 pyrite launches available, you can expect to knock off between 10% and 18% of Flame Leviathan's health up to and through the first overload. Also, since the first overload will come quicker than the rest due to the 4th player, the first target he pursues should not be reached if they stay in the corner where the encounter begins. For DPS reasons, the 2 demolishers who are not launching players are the 2 players with the highest average eye level in the raid. This allows more flexibility throughout the encounter to be near pyrite, and allows for the maximum potential DPS from players who can deal the most damage. Finally, during times when pyrite is scarce, spacing out pyrite shots with hurl boulders is a good pacing mechanism. It's generally best to fire faster during overloads though, because the pyrite also does damage on impact. Thanks for watching this movie. As always, feel free to ask questions or add suggestions either on YouTube or in the strategy thread on TankSpot.com. Also, TankSpot donors can download all of these movies in high definition directly from our servers. Click the second link in the movie information box to learn more.